October 18, Detention Center, Visitors Room. Oh, Mr. Wright, thank you for earlier. Not at all. We got lucky, to tell the truth. You can say that again. Let's not. So, WP, do you have any leads that might get us going in the right direction? Sorry, but no. Be sure to tell us anything that comes to mind, no matter how small. We can't rely on getting lucky again tomorrow. Yes. The fanboy. Do, fanboys sneak into the studios often? No, not that I know of. That security lady's pretty strict with them. But in today's testimony, didn't she say they were often hanging around? The kids really, really love a steel samurai. They sneak past when she's not looking, I guess. Was the director present at the morning run-through? Yes, he was. He was directing how the steel samurai and the evil magistrate should move. Why didn't you tell us that before? Well, just the studio asked us to keep quiet. It has nothing to do with this. I hate to repeat myself, but Nick here is a newbie lawyer, fresh off the bar. When he loses, he's gonna lose big. I see. Whose side is she on? You aren't hiding anything else from us, are you? No, I sure hope not. Show them anything? Regarding this photograph. Yes? This really, truly, absolutely isn't you, right? Right. I was sleeping in my dressing room the whole time, honest. But who else could have worn it? The costume was in your dressing room? Yes. I guess they snuck in and took it while I was asleep. But who? And how would they know? Regarding the murder weapon. Yes. Is it heavy, that spear? Pretty hefty, yeah. I don't think the average person would be able to swing it around effectively. And that's the spear that broke or something during the morning run-through? Oh, yes, I goofed on a round kick, you see. I broke the spear. The security lady fixed it for me right away, though. With duct tape, we heard. Okay, more to talk. More to talk. Wow, they gave a lawyer one of those card keys? Well, I'm sort of borrowing it. Well, I'm sort of borrowing it. Let's see. You better be careful not to lose that. They're very strict about those card keys here. Guess they're pretty good about keeping these out of outsiders' hands. Thanks, I'll be careful. Should I just show her the map? I'm not really sure what that is, so you know what it is. Alright. So then how? Also the birds are just stressing. Can't get in, apparently. That doesn't mean I stop. So, The door, it's locked. The key is probably in the security guard station. I doubt they'd let us borrow it. So they're not going to let us borrow it. How can we... Like, we can't get in there. We don't have anything to show her. Would you take a look at this? That's Mr. Powers. Why is he dragging his leg like that? What is this anyway? Looks like she didn't know about this photo or the injury that morning. Never mind. Say, you work with the props, right? About that murder weapon. You mean the samurai spear? Yeah, it's a prop, but it's still pretty heavy. I hate having to carry that thing around. Well, you'd have to be pretty strong to use that as a weapon, it sounds like. Why is Mr. Powers the only person I can think of? Interesting. Yeah, that we're doing. Alright, let's go back to Detention. There's nothing to examine here. This guard monitors the visitors' room. Yeah, not even any snarky response. I'm definitely missing something. How can I get Penny out of it? Oh. Okay, can I check anything again? See if anything has changed. No. Okay. Here too. Is there anything else I can examine that didn't check properly? Wait. Suspicious incinerator that has probably destroyed the samurai costume. So, like, yeah. Hey! And I can't get in. Yeah. We checked all the equipment. Yeah. Out of the ordinary there. Go back to the employee area. Like, if we could get one of them hooligans to come through the drain. WTF? Who are you dudes? Wow. Huh? Wait, you first. Who are you? You look pretty suspicious to me. But whatever, lamers. How can you not know the great Salmonella? I make the lead shows. The Steel Samurai, mine, RTFC, read the film credits. Really? You're the Salmonella? I'm so sorry. You look so... sorry. No, it's quite alright, really. It's fine. Ruffle. What is it? You know, on closer inspection. Yeah, hot. Hey, do you do a lot of cosplay? Because that costume rock soars. Rock soars? What? Hey, you're drooling. Huh? Oh, buffer overrun. You've triggered my creative powers. Yes, it's coming to me. Pink Princess. The sequel to the Steel Samurai. Pink Princess, warrior of little old Tokyo. Ruffle. Ow. Pink Princess? Why's it gotta be little old Tokyo? Why can't they have a cool name like Neo Old Tokyo? Maya, we really need to talk about cool. Oh dear. Alright, so things have changed? What? There's a bunch of snacks on the table. They must give these to the employees. Hey, Nick. What now? The snacks. There was twice this much here before. I ate them. They were past their expiration date anyway. Hurrahful. She's biting her lip and staring at me with tears welling in her eyes. That's the only thing he touched. Okay. Day of the crime. Did you notice something unusual on the day of the murder? Oh, I know who you dudes are. That security lady told you about us, eh? That's right. It was a pretty regular day. We had a run-through for an action scene in the morning. Then a meeting from lunchtime in Studio 2 trailer. Heh, I was so busy I didn't even get a chance to eat lunch. But the plates were empty! A T-bone steak, was it? Yeah, sucksores. I hate missing out on food. Nick, what does sucksores mean? No idea. Anyway, I was in a meeting from noon till after 4 with the producer and some bigwigs from the network. Mr. Hammer's time of death was estimated at 2:30 p.m. If he's telling the truth, that meeting gives him an alibi. About the producer who was at the meeting with you. Oh, you mean Dee Vasquez. She's a genius. Mad skills all the way. Scary, those. She brought these studios back from the brink of destruction. She's the one who made it possible for me to make the Steel Samurai. You had a meeting with her on the day of the murder, right? Yeah, we were together from noon to 4 p.m. the whole time. What exactly are these bigwigs people keep mentioning? Oh, the boss over at the network and some sponsors, also a few production guys. They piled into a limousine and got here right around noon. Major tension. Were all of them with you the entire time? Yeah, unfortunately. They're all gray-haired geezers. Sounds like they'd all be reliable witnesses. Sure, what's he say about this? This is WP, right? How do you know? Well, look, he's obviously dragging his foot. Oh. Right. The director would know about the injury. He was there. I try not to pay attention to things that don't interest me, lol. Why are you staring at me like that? Okay, I showed that to him. Did he care? No, he didn't care. Okay. Alright. So that has changed things already. I go back to the... Aha! You again! Eek. How rude, acting like you've seen a ghost. You certainly got back to your post quickly. Oh, the police took me away, they did. They pulled out a spare steel samurai costume. Told me to put it on. Can you imagine? How could I, a sweet little old lady, wear a giant suit like that? Mr. Powers is pretty tall. As soon as they saw there was no way I could wear it, they let me go. I guess that would rule out her being the murderer. Anyway, know this, whippersnapper, this old lady never forgets a slight or insult. And you won't get any information out of me, my lips are sealed. Sure are talking a lot for someone with sealed lips. Starting now, 1, 2, 3... This lady's too much. She's still gonna talk anyway, sure. About that kid you said you saw. If I see him again, I'm taking him down. Nick, look at her eyes, she's serious. About the director, the one who was here on the day of the murder. If I see him again, I'm taking him down. Nick, I think she's losing it. Yeah, I don't have anything to present to her. Try checking this again. The security guard station. I can see the computer that runs the security cameras. Hey, no touching! Guess I'd better investigate there later. Okay, so... people are moving around in all sorts of ways. Is Penny back in Studio 1 then? No, nothing has changed, okay. That means someone is in Studio 2. Yeah. Like, a lot of things are happening in the wrong place for stuff to happen. He said he couldn't finish his meals, but the plates are empty. The unfinished meals are in this, in the employee area. Okay. Nothing like this is going on. Maybe I can show her things, I don't know. I have a feeling she's not going to respond well to anything I show her now. Okay. Ooh, there's a hooligan. Hey! Hey, wait! I'll bet he came in right through that drain. Hey, Kiddio, what's your name, sport? I'm a kid, don't talk to me like that. Huh? But you are a kid. What a rude little brat, there's no way to talk to an adult. I don't see no adults here, hippie fashion chick. Hippie fashion... Nick, I think I'm being mocked. You got it to hand it to Maya, she's pretty sharp and pretty mad. And Cody Hackins. Call me Kiddio again, I'll cut you down where you stand, evildoer. Okay. Steel Samurai. So, you're a fan of the Steel Samurai. How dare you utter that name, evildoer? What do you mean? We're on the Steel Samurai's side. You can't fool me. Okay, then what's the last line said by the innkeeper in episode 8? Easy. Like some fries with that? Not bad, Kiddio. Watch it. What are they doing? Say, you heard anything about the incident the other day? Incident? You were here, weren't you? Did you see anything? Always. The Steel Samurai always wins. Always. Yeah, I saw him. I saw everything. What? But no way am I telling you losers. Wait. Let me go. Huh? He's gone. Huh? Something fell off the table when he bumped into it on his way out. A bottle? Why was this sitting here, I wonder? Down on a table in the employee area. The label reads, sleeping pills. Anyway, what was that kid saying? He saw everything. Alright, so... bottle of sleeping pills. Obvious. The drain where the fanboy came in. He didn't waste any time coming in either. Talk about cause and effect. I mean, the dressing room, anything new from you? No, okay. Alright. Huh? Where's that old windbag? Odd of her to leave her post. Hey! Nick, that was her. Stop, a whippersnapper. Yeah, sounds like she's chasing after that boy. Natch! Uh-oh, she tripped. Maya sure looks happy. Alright, so now we can examine the thing with nobody in the way. Hey, Nick. Now's our chance. Let's check out the guard station. Good idea. Oh! This is it, Nick. The trailer key. The key to that trailer in Studio 2. We'll be borrowing this, right, Nick? Trailer key slipped into pocket. Hey. Alright, so let's scram doodle. As they say. Alright. Studio 1. Studio 2. Slide over. I guess examine it. I wonder if the key we borrowed from the guard station will work. It opened. Great, let's go, Nick. She seems eager all of a sudden. Well, you first, Nick. Not that eager.